Ready.
Hey guys, it's Megan from Cardtropolis TCG, here to bring you a Sweetest Sister Meer deck profile from the newest Vanguard Twinkle Melody Extra Booster. I think this is the deck I was most excited for in the set. By no means is it like the top deck or like the most meta or anything like that. But back in the day when duos came out, man, I just remember I loved the duo deck with Meer and Reed, and just getting like that 8 attack, limit break 4, like it took like 4 counter blasts. It was crazy and just so much fun. And when they brought back Meer, just the promo image, I was so hyped for it. And then yeah, they took her out of duos. Kind of. She still has her like old OCR art for her like black outfit. But still super fun. I'm surprised at how much I like how much this deck just operates and runs and what it does. Yeah, enough for intros though. Let's just get right into it. For my grade 3s, I'm only running Meer and 4 of her. Yeah. So her skill is Auto Vanguard. At the beginning of your main phase, you put Meer's present marker into your hand. What? Oh, down. Sorry. Thanks. And then Vanguard, at the beginning of your battle phase, reveal any number of Meer's present from your hand, and all of your rearguards get plus 5,000 power until the end of turn for each card revealed. If you reveal 2 or more cards, you can counterblast 1 and heal a card from your damage zone. And then her second skill is Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Look at 2 cards from the top of your deck, call up to 1 card from among them to the rear guard, and put the rest on the top of your deck in any order. So this card's like deceptively, I don't know about good. I think it's really good. It's super fun, if nothing else. I mean, you power up all of your rear guards, and that's every single turn you get one of these, Meer's present markers. You're powering up your rear guards quite a bit. It snowballs every turn that that you're alive. And then as soon as, the second turn on Meer, you're healing damage every turn, which it provides for a really like just fun kind of grindy stall game kind of. And then with that second skill, you just kind of get a top deck, and if there's a trigger or even better a crit or something, you can go ahead and put that on top and then call something to the rear guard. And there's so many things that have on-play skills that the combo potential is really just wild, and it's a lot of fun. I'm having so much fun with this deck, and I've only been playing it for the weekend pretty much after the sneak. But yeah, only running 4. I thought about doing like a backup grade 3. Like I had Anj in there for a bit. Thought about Lupina, but I don't know. I just want a deck just focused on Meer and what she can do. And I wouldn't want to be tempted to ride something other than Meer if I had the option to do either or. So I just took it out and did 4. And it's been working pretty well, I'd say. I'm happy. Yeah, on to the grade 2s though. We're running 4 of the grade 2 Meer support with Filling Reverie Petra. She has an Auto Vanguard skill. When placed, you can Soul Blast 2, search your deck for up to 1 Sweetest Sister Meer, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And then on rear guard, when it attacks, if your card was put into your damage zone from your drop zone this turn, your opponent cannot call Sentinels from the guard circle from hand until the end of the battle. So she's kind of the main reason that you can get away with only running 4 Meer. If she's in your opening hand, she's definitely your ride target. But even later in the game, not being able to, like, just denying your opponent's Sentinels is pretty good, especially when she's getting plus 5k for every Meer's present in your hand. And then, of course, your Force shenanigans, too. You could almost do, like, Force 2 in this deck, which is interesting.
Does he have enough power?
Yeah, just because everything gets power, you can just go ahead and just stack on that pressure, especially on the rear guards, rewrite a Meer, multiple Force, Yeah, that'd be interesting to test as we kind of get a little bit more time and play test more, fine-tune it. Anyway, moving on. Choco Heart Lieselot. Of course, we're running 4 of her because we have the space, because, only 4 grade 3s definitely opens up your options for your 1s and 2s. So in case you don't know her skill at this point, she has a continuous ability in hand, and she can be called as a grade 1. And then Auto Vanguard or Rear Guard, when placed, you can look at the top card of your deck, and you can call it to the rear guard or put it into your soul. And you can only use that skill once per turn. Yeah, so again, just kind of unlimited opportunity there. You can either put things in the soul for Meer's ability, or call it to the field for like some early rush, get some more like kind of on play shenanigans. Just a lot of room for potential there. And this deck does tend to eat up soul quite a bit. I noticed during playtesting over the weekend. So her soul skill is actually pretty handy if you happen to like get a trigger or something that you wouldn't want to see on the field. Definitely kind of just tuck it into the soul. Yeah. Next, we're running 4 Top Idol Aqua. She has made her grand debut into the V Series, and definitely way better than just being a 10k vanilla like she was back in the day. So continuous, Vanguard or Rearguard. During this turn, if you have another unit in the same column as this unit gets plus 5k. So she's a 15k attacker pretty much for free. Bermuda generates a lot of hand advantage, all sorts of calling, you know, from the top of the deck to the field. So you're pretty much always going to have just some really nice numbers to hit for. And then again, that's counting before the present markers and all your force shenanigans. So that's pretty cool. Her second skill is Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When placed, you can return up to 1 of your other normal units on the rearguard to your hand, and if you return a card, you can draw a card, discard a card from your hand, and this ability can only be used once per turn. Yeah, it seems pretty self-explanatory. Really good. Can kind of go through your deck a little bit more with that draw. Reset skills, such as, you know, Lieselot, Sedna, really just anything. A whole bunch of things. So we are running 4 of her since we can. I would definitely, if you have the room, as many Lieselots or Aquas as you can. And luckily this deck is pretty open. Another reason I like it, there's quite a lot of flex and different things you can do. Speaking of flex, for the last kind of grade 2, I'm running 1 from Colorful Pastoral Cannon. Just because on place you can soul charge. If you have Melody, then all of your Melody units get that skill. But she is my only Melody card in this deck. And yeah, just running her for just the soul charge. And you could bounce her with Aqua. Sorry, not Lieselot. Because yeah, this deck did tend to run into resource problems if you don't kind of pick and choose your skills wisely. Or if you don't see Lieselot, if you can't get the Meer re-ride, you'll run out of soul pretty quick. And you do want to hit that second ability on Meer as much as possible. Really every turn if you can, because looking at the top of your deck's good. You could run that Coral grade 2 double rare that came out in Twinkle Melody. And it's like Counterblast 1, Soul Charge 3, which is honestly pretty dark irregular, my other favorite clan. But yeah, Counterblasts are a little tight in this deck as well, so I just didn't want to do it. Cannon's perfectly fine, and you really wouldn't need 3 soul anyway. Because I don't think you're going to be alive long enough to utilize all that. Yeah, but moving on to the grade 1s. We're running 4 Mermaid Idol Sedna, just your standard grade 3 searcher, but her first skill is during your turn, if you have another unit in the same column as this unit, she gets 5k. So yeah, hits for really nice numbers early game, or just kind of a beefier booster later in the game. But yeah, if you can find more Meers, I would definitely go for it. Just for the read ride, a little bit of deck thinning, just all around a really good card. So we run 4 of her, definitely. And then for the grade 1 Meer support card, we have Peppy Smile Helga. And she has a continuous rearguard skill that if you reveal the Meer's present from your hand, she gets plus 5k. So even on that first turn with the Meer, when you get the 1 marker, she's an 18k booster or attacker, which is pretty sweet. Especially like if you go first, some good pressure. And then she has an auto rearguard skill. When it attacks or the attack at boosted hits a Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and draw a card. I actually haven't used this skill yet, because, I don't know, I think a counterblast for a draw isn't, it hasn't really come up too much yet. But it's nice that the option's there if you need it.
It'd be a good thing to put behind your Vanguard as extra pressure, too.
Oh, yeah,
if
that's
you decide
true.
not to do force 2.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're healing, you should, in theory, have enough counterblast to do her skill. But yeah, that's a really good point. Thank you. Yeah, just pressure behind the Vanguard, which our next mermaid also does. For Mermaid Idol Ellie is the next card. Yeah, she's returned to V as well. Pretty cool. Not as a perfect guard though, but definitely with some like very like unique guard potential. I like these like new Bermuda units. They definitely, I think, add like a lot of flavor to the clan, a lot of kind of uniqueness, which is always really nice, especially in V series where a lot of the skills are just kind of similar. That new R&D team is definitely putting in work, I think. Anyway, though, her first skill, Auto Vanguard or Rearguard. When it attacks or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, search your deck for up to one Mermaid Idol Ellie, reveal it and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. If you put a card into your hand and this unit's on the Rearguard, you can retire this unit, which isn't too bad because her second skill is Auto on the Guardian Circle. When she's placed, you can put a Mermaid Idol Ellie from your drop zone on the bottom of your deck, and this unit gets plus 10k shield until the end of the battle. So really nice. If she's on, like if you end up riding her and you get her skill off for the on-hit pressure, that's pretty good because you can't retire a Vanguard. But even if you do end up retiring her, you'll have another one, and then you can just use her skill, put her on the bottom, and just recycle. And recycling shield's always nice.
It reminds me of the G Ellie, the G guard.
Oh
It
yeah.
kind of like unflips kind of to get more shield or something, or I don't remember what it does.
That's a really good point. Yeah, she could recycle as well.
Mm-hmm.
So good she got banned.
Yeah.
And is still banned.
Still banned.
Rip. That's what you get for being too good, I guess. Yeah. This deck's pretty defensive too, running the 16 grade 1s. So that's pretty sweet.
And the healing.
And the healing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. I like it. So our next card, we're running 4 Distinguished Wink Radka. Auto Vanguard. When the attack hits, you can draw a card. And then act Rearguard. Retire this unit. Look at 2 cards from the top of your deck. Put 1 card from among them into your hand, and put 1 card from among them into your drop zone. This ability can only be used once per turn. Yeah, I really like this card. I said in the previous Pacifica deck profile that she's really kind of the MVP of Twinkle Melody because just splashable in anything, really unique kind of skill, really good like on-hit pressure if you end up riding her, and then that Rearguard skill of just retiring and being able to look at the top card and then putting into your hand and just kind of milling your deck. I really like that mechanic. It's pretty unique. I probably use it more than I should, but whatever. We're still in the playtesting phase. Yeah, so that's kind of the main body of the deck. So far I really like it. Still plenty of room for playtesting. I've only gotten in a few games with her, but I like it so far. And then we'll just go over the trigger lineup really quick. We have 4 heal, 8 crit, just few of each of the different arts. I really like them all. They're very cute. And then for the draw PG, I wanted to try to squeeze in the crit sentinel, but this deck really just kind of needs like the draw potential and just having like that absolute perfect guard, just so we can try to live a little longer.
To get the heal off.
Yeah, to get the heal off, definitely. If I could, I would though, with that crit sentinel. I like how kind of aggressive that build is. Yeah, just a few of the Meer's presence. I think I have 5 there, and you definitely aren't gonna see 5. I think the most I've gotten so far is I think 3, but plus 15k to all of your rear guards. That's some pretty stacked numbers. I'll definitely have to play around more with like Force 2, because that could definitely easily be an option. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's come up, but if you get like, is this the beginning of your main phase, you get the marker, and the beginning of your battle phase? Okay. I was just curious if you would ever like discard any of these for like Aqua to get an actual card you can card with, or like discarding it to PGs. I guess discarding it to Aqua is a little bit more awkward because it's main phase, so you don't want to go below 2. I guess I was just wondering if you would ever discard a 3rd one, go down to 2, still get the heal off, but you can trade it for like shield by drawing a new card. I don't know if that's come up yet.
It hasn't yet. It's still in the like early stages.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you had to,
because it's still treated as a card, so you can discard them if you have to.
Yeah, if you absolutely needed to, like for your perfect art or something like that, yeah, you definitely could. Dakota made the comment over the weekend that this deck generates deceptively big hands because you'll have a seemingly big hand, but 2 or 3 of the cards end up being the markers.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Yeah, you can discard them, so that's pretty nice.
Okay. Another question I had is like, so when you ride this, you can Soul Blast 2 and get the mirror. If you open this in your opening hand, would you ever consider ditching this if you had both? Or do you just keep it and not use the Soul Blast and keep your soul intact? Or is it worth it just to Soul Blast and just take the +1?
I think it's worth it for the +1. I mean, yeah.
So if you're always going to use this, do you ever send this back to try to hit something else?
Yeah.
You could try to hit Lieselots or like Aquas or something.
Yeah, especially with how many 1s and 2s this deck runs. I would definitely, if I have the Petra, then that means I have the mirror, just guaranteed.
Yeah.
So if I could like get into like an early Ellie or a Radka,
and I think
Aqua, anything like that.
Especially if you're going like second, I think it's more important to try to like get the shield to try to live to like make this better rather than trying to get a second mirror.
Oh yeah, a second mirror, that's kind of
extra.
Yeah, definitely extra. I mean if the Sedna happens to get one, that's great. If you get one off like a Lieselot and then pop it back with Aqua, that's fine as well. All definitely valid combos, but no, I think Mir definitely makes her rear guard shine. So yeah, if you get the rewrite, that's fine, but it's certainly not like pertinent to the deck, I'd say.
Yeah. And then last thing, while this card is like, a really solid like common for the set, you don't really need to set up any like drop zone. So like I totally understand it like digs for your grade 2, which can get your grade 3. Would you ever consider cutting like one of this for a second cannon? So then like you have a higher chance of hitting it off mirror to replace the soul, or just higher chance of having Aqua to bounce it?
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely a potential. The cannon was kind of just a last minute tech in. I was running that grade 2. I think she was like a promo, but now she's like a rare in the set where when you ride her, you can counterblast 1. Look at the top 7. And that was kind of just there in case I didn't get Petra in my opening hand.
Oh, the one that rerides a grade 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The blue one.
Yeah, the grade 2 like ride fix. I don't remember.
Yeah,
the name.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah. So I added her in, and then she was in my hand for a couple games, and just
didn't want to ride it.
Yeah, I just had Petra or just something else.
It has no rear guard effect either.
Yeah, no rear guard. It's strictly Vanguard, so kind of useless.
I do think this is kind of a cool card.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's.
Because I feel like most of the time, like if you hit a trigger off the Lieselot, I think you always put it in the soul because you can't bounce any triggers like the bear version can. So you're always trying to hit like normal units off this, which means you have like a 33% chance of like soul charging a trigger about. So you can't like always like you can choose to put it in soul if you need to, but usually the plus is better. So then by having a couple of these, you can soul charge and get the plus.
Oh yeah. No, that's actually a really good idea. And honestly, I'll probably do that as soon as we stop recording. Just add it in, see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd honestly be pretty fine. Because 16 grade 1s.
I do think the Force 2 idea is actually really, really cool. I didn't really consider that. Yeah, like why are we not picking Force 2? Because your like columns get really big. Because you could easily make them 23 and then like 1 force marker. Well, the Force 2, so 23 plus 1 gift is 28. If you just have these on like opposite columns and like some other thing.
Yeah.
28 critical 2 is decent. It requires a heal, and that's not counting triggers or anything.
Force 2 is definitely something I'm going to play around with. And probably just a second cannon. In my defense, playing a lot of Luard, so I guess I'm just used to spamming Force 1.
Yeah, no, that's totally reasonable.
Whoops.
That's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, you really enjoy this deck, right?
Oh yeah, I love this deck. It's my favorite one to come out of Twinkle Melody so far. I know that's a pretty bold statement with things like Prism, and then Melody just got insane during this set. And even like Lupina can be really strong.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely like, when I read this skill, I definitely was
Underwhelmed.
Skeptical about it coming off. Because if you go second, you have to live through 2 of your opponent's grade 3 turns in order to heal. And even if you heal from 5 to 4, you could still very well die on their like next turn. So I was definitely like, if you don't go first, like it still doesn't solve the problem of going like second. The healing might be too late. But in like playtesting, if it goes against any average deck, as long as it's not going against like a tier 0 deck or something, it's very competitive, surprisingly. Like it's, if you can't like kill them and pressure them hard enough and they're healing from like 3 to 2, it's, oh my gosh, it feels terrible, like on the other side for sure.
Yeah, I think I ended a game like with 2 damage.
Yep,
so that felt pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so definitely gonna prove everyone wrong with this deck because I really like it. Just outside of just being kind of like fun and definitely unique and fresh. I think that's what I really like about this deck. It's not your standard like, you know, oh, like restand something, drive, you know, extra drive checks or whatever. It's just some stealing some Angel Feather and some OTT, you know, playbook stuff and just having at it.
I guess my last question is, because this calls from the deck, is this from hand or from... Nope, it's just on play, so you can hit it. Yeah, so you can hit this off of that and just replace the soul like instantly.
Yeah. And that's another cool thing. A lot of these, I think, other
versatile.
than I think just Sedna is placed from hand. So yeah, just a lot of things open up. I'm so glad that Bermuda went kind of back to its roots with the whole like bouncing mechanic.
Yeah.
Because man, I missed it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to like leave them down below. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I have. We'll definitely keep playtesting and updating, and yeah, maybe do a 2.0 if it changes enough. And we'll have match videos too.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for those. Yeah, those will be fun. And if you have any requests for like certain matchups, please just let us know, because like we'll try to do as many matchups as we can. But if you have any particular ones, like definitely let us know, and we'll hook you up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, take care.